panties and powder puff, a flip gun loaded right up with snuff. Rice bag, flour bag, onion crate, nail files and shoemaker tax. When he asked me what I was buying today, I tell him, Mr. Relax. Of a German flag, pillowcase, nighties, modest and socks, rimless glasses and old matchbox, needles, timbers, buttons and bead. Up came Constable Reed. He said, young man, you have a lot of nice things here that I really need. But where you get this, where you get that, where did you get the superintendent hat? This nightie look like me neighbor own. Where did you get this tenor saxophone? So let we go down like you own the whole of town. This time me hand on me mouth. When I read the evening news, the next evening was an old thief come down from south. It's music time in any gang. When you see man start to around, all the instruments just be in tune, but it will leave out the bottle and spoon. Cause if it bottle and spoon, man does be ringing out real tune. The drum and bass both fall in place. You bottle half with water, bacchanal and manslaughter. Sweet music in the place. I heard it from a steel band man. He named Bradshaw. He's an iron man. Yes, he told me plain that very soon pan men going back to bottle and spoon. See with bottle and spoon, man does be ringing out real tune. The drum and bass go fall in place. Your bottle half with water, bacchanal and manslaughter. Sweet music in the place. Whiskey bottle or rum bottle, the song real nice when a man rattle. So the carnival this year go be hell. Cause a bacchanal, plenty spoon go sell. Music with bottle and spoon, bangers be ringing out real tune. The drum and bass go fall in place. Your bottle half with water, bacchanal and manslaughter. Sweet music in the place. If your bottle's small, you must realize that the spoon to use is a medium size. But if your spoon too large, well then it's manslaughter. Your bottle going to break and throw away the water. Music with bottle and spoon, bangers be ringing out real tune. The drum and bass go fall in place. Your bottle half with water, bacchanal and manslaughter. Sweet music in the place. Bajan and a Trinidadian dying for starvation. The Bajan said, look, Trini, let me make a cook. I put the rice and you're going to put the meat. Then we going both have something to eat. But when the pot was ready to done, the Bajan decided to pull a fast one. The Bajan said, Trini, I'm a born Bajan. I don't like to fight. But when it comes to the occasion, I can die for me right. You put in a 12 cents meat bone, you Trinidadian lice. I can give you a word of advice. Take your meat out me rice. Got in a big rage. What's wrong with you, Paige? Tell you flat, Paige, I ain't taking that. When we were shopping, we both agreed the food will be cooked and shared equally. I put my last penny in this meat, and I am moving until I eat. The Paige, you know, Trini, I'm a born Bajan. I don't like to fight.
I'd ask.
We're good.
But when it comes to the
If you
occasion,
need anything else,
I'm going to die for me right. You put in a 6 cents meat bone, you Trinidadian lice. Before I crush you like ice, take your meat out me rice. By this time the pot finish, Trini pick up a dish. The Bajan say no, 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 never happened so. What I mentioned I can repeat. I said to lend me your piece of meat. Trini gets so vexed, he started to cry. Babe, in front of the eye, you're telling a lie. The Bajan say no, no, Trini, I'm a born Bajan. I don't like to fight. But when it comes to the occasion, I can die for me right. You put in a 3 cent meat bone, you Trinidadian lice. Before I give you a Bajan heist, take your meat out me rice.
stick it here.
We come down every February or March and catch cups.
I'm on in about 9:30. The TV nearly blow my mind. I catch cold feet looking at Sesame Street. I saw a full steel band on display, so I tell myself right away, Trinidad in pain, steel band no belong to we again. I was amazed, I couldn't help but gaze. Big Bird, Buffy and Grover, Ernie, Bert and Oscar. They look alive till I nearly bust when I saw Mr. Snuffleupagus jumping up like any one of us and shaking their feet to pan on Sesame Street. Believe I can understand why we still neglecting steel band. We lack foresight, a wrong that we must put right. We would not promote, we would not expose foreigners taking it from below we nose. What a burning shame, sooner or later we'll have no claim. I was amazed, I couldn't help but gaze. Shimlock, Malice and Marcia, Clarabelle, Cookie Monster. I nearly jumped out my shoe when I saw Katie and the kangaroo jumping up like if it's me or you and shaking their feet to pan on Sesame Street. It's time that we make a change, cause we sense our values are strange. Stop this curse and think about your culture first. Again, I think that we should be told Pan is the eighth wonder of the world, and let the world know it started in Trinidad and Tobago. I was amazed, I couldn't help but gaze. Susan, Sheldon and Linda, Cody, Harry and Lydia. I really felt like a louse when I saw Mr. Hooper and City Mouse jumping up in the living room of my house and shaking their feet to pan on Sesame Street. So I make my appeal again, start a big national campaign, once annually, promote a big steel band jamboree. Set aside the 1st and 2nd of May and call it Steel Band Holiday. The whole idea is to get people more aware. I was amazed, I couldn't help but gaze. Big Bird, Muffy and Grover, Ernie, Bert and Oscar. I really felt like a log when I see Bob and Gordon drinking the grog, along with Barkley and Kermit the Frog, and shaking their feet to pan on Sesame Street. If you want to be happy and live a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. If you want to be happy and live a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. All you have to do is hear what I say, and you will be jolly, merry and gay. Therefore, from a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. A pretty woman makes her husband look small, and very often causes downfall. From the time she marries, there and then she'll start to do the things that will break his heart. And when you really think she belongs to you, she calling somebody else honeydew. Therefore, from a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. An ugly woman gives you your meals on time, and very often a peace of mind. At nights when you lie in your cozy bed, she will kiss, caress you and scratch your head. She will never embarrass you at all by exhibiting herself to Peter and Paul. Therefore, from a logic.
Oakley dokley.
Always get it when you miss by a second.
Okay, now when we do this, you come up and sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sprouting Frog Tiki Bar in Georgetown, South Carolina. We're about to have a concert by Sonny Jim and John Patti, the Trop-Rock duo. Stand by.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to probably one of the most beautiful stages I've ever had the pleasure to perform on. And that includes Hawaii, that includes Barbados, that includes Grand Cayman, many islands throughout the Caribbean. But I have to say, this evening, it is particularly beautiful out here, and as long as the rain stays away, it will continue to be particularly beautiful. My name is Sonny Jim. This is my friend, Mr. John Patti, musical compatriot. Together we are the Trop-Rock duo. And we're very excited to be here tonight at the Spouting Frog. There's that Spouting Frog right there. I need to get a good close-up picture of him before we get out of here. And just in case you didn't know, tonight we are broadcasting live video at Satori 843, on YouTube at Satori, Satori 2011. Thank you very much. But you don't need to know that because we're here and we're live, so let's play some music. This first song is one of mine that I was inspired to write. By a friend right here from Beaufort, South Carolina, who portrays Blackbeard the pirate for a living. And I thought that's kind of an interesting thing to do, be a professional pirate portrayer. And I wondered how he got there, and it occurred to me that probably all of us have played pirate while we were kids, and some of us never stopped, especially my friend Ben Cherry. So Ben, this one is for you. It's called The Pirate Boy Who Sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. Some kids say they'll run away, gonna join up with the circus. But the big top never did appeal to me. I knew my landlocked small town white bread life held another purpose. So I made a vow that one day I'd break free. And then I wrote a letter to my mama. I told her not to cry, but I needed some adventure, or I surely would go crazy. And I would be a good boy to be back by and by. And then I ran away to join up with Blackbeards Navy. Across the blue horizon till we fall off of the world, or we meet with Davy Jones below the sea. Man the cannons and clear the decks, send a lookout up above. It's the pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. From my treetop crow's nest, I can see a schooner in the dawn. Hoist the bedsheet main, we will chase that treasure down. Rope swing aboard the boat, and then the battle it rages on. Although a cardboard cutlass hardly makes a sound. And the little pirate was a wild man, carrying the day. But through the burning rigging, my memories, they're quite hazy. I do recall a legend, he was made captain, then they say, that little pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. Across the blue horizon until we fall off of the world, or we meet with Davy Jones below the sea. Man the cannons and clear the decks, send a lookout up above. It's the pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy, Mr. John Patti. I've seen hurricanes and I've seen stranger things in many years at sea. I've seen ghost ships sailing silently along, and I've had cannibals and pirate queens both chasing after me. Those things that do not kill us, they make us strong. Lessons learned by living in a world of make-believe. I was strengthened by the spirit that it gave me. The man who's been around this world, oh, and sailed the seven seas, was once the pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. Across the blue horizon till we fall off of the world, or we meet with Davy Jones below the sea. Man the cannons and clear the decks, send a lookout up above. It's the pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. Across the blue horizon till we fall off of the world, or we meet with Davy Jones below the sea. Man the cannons and clear the decks, send a lookout up above. It's the pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy. I was that pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeards Navy. The little pirate boy who sailed in Blackbeard's Navy.
Give it up, Mr. Sonny Jim. James
Hey,
Hawaii.
hey, thank you, Mr. John Patti. Hey, turn this down a little bit. It's blowing my skirt up. Okay. Well, John and I are touring this summer together. We both have newish CDs. They both came out last November before Meeting of the Minds. How many of you have been to Meeting of the Minds down in Key West, Florida? Oh, that's a pretty good turnout right there. The Coastal Carolina Parrot Head Club. You guys always have a good showing, and I've enjoyed performing for you over the years. Here's a song, in fact, the title track to my new CD. I don't think we need to worry about it today, but sometime in mid-December, you may want to think of this song. It's Still Summer Somewhere. I think today it's still summer. I feel the weight of the cold gray sky, the snow that still needs to be plowed. I know we're trapped, but I just got to believe that we can make it out somehow. I've got vacation days that are going to waste. My suitcase is open on the bed. So honey, grab your flip-flop, your snorkel and mask, 'cause I've got a plan in my head. It's still summer somewhere, and there's a beach calling out to me. It's still summer somewhere, and that's the place where we need to be. So jump on that computer, baby, book us a flight. We can catch a red eye in the middle of the night. When we wake up in the morning, the world will be right when we're there, where it's still summer somewhere, still summer somewhere. I've got a notion we've been frozen too long. We're wearing just too many clothes. I need to be where we can soak up the sun, get some sand between our toes. There's just too much frustration in this refrigeration. I need something I can smile about. So let's book a vacation to some Caribbean nation. We'll stay there till the world thaws out. It's still summer somewhere, where the afternoons last forever. It's still summer somewhere, for just the two of us together. Jump on the computer and book us a flight. We can catch a red eye in the middle of the night. When we wake up in the morning, the world will be right when we're there, where it's still summer somewhere. Oh, but we can still have Christmas and New Year's Eve. Cold toes and old snow is not for me. I'm thinking rum in Barbados, that sounds like fun. Lying on the beach in the afternoon sun. Still summer somewhere. It's still summer somewhere. Ah, but we can still have Christmas and New Year's Eve. Cold toes and old snow, that's not for me. I'm thinking tequila in Mexico, late night fun. Lying on the playa, soaking up the sun, where it's still summer somewhere. It's still summer somewhere. You know it's still summer somewhere. It's still summer somewhere. All right. Thank you, guys.
It does feel like summer out here.
It does. So why are you wearing long pants? That's what I want to know.
Well, because there's a nice breeze coming from your fan over there. They're kind of chilling me down here a little bit.
Good, good. Tell them about Start the Party.
Well, the next song I'm going to do is a little original of mine off of one of my second CD release called Cabana Breeze, and fortunate to have this one played on a few different radio stations, Margaritaville, Radio Margaritaville being one of them. Fortunate that they play both of our music, which helps us keep warm during the winter as well, even though it's still summer somewhere. It's always nice to have that out. So this is one that is appropriate for this time of the day and the evening. A little song called Start the Party. It goes like this. If you feel so inclined, feel free, step on up. It's not quite 7th inning stretch just yet. It's a good time to just get going here. We're going to have a beautiful night of music.
Yeah.
Starting off with a little bit of Start the Party. That's right.
Play that trash can.
you so much. A little fun island music. And now a word from our sponsors. Oh, you know, he's giving us cues. He's told steal second is what he said.
Yep.
Okay.
Slide. Well, again, thank you to Mike and Trina.
While we make a little adjustment here.
I think that's what that message was, correct? Hey, you know, me personally, you never get that request enough. It's always the other way around. Turn that thing down. Well, as James may have mentioned, we're making a little road trip up the East Coast, and we were in Jacksonville last evening, and so fortunate you guys would have us here as we make a little trip along the way. Otherwise, we'd be in the I-95.
We'd
rest
still
stop,
be
yes.
driving around central or eastern South Carolina because we had the tour today.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I had the volume turned off on my phone, and I missed a record 4 turns. Because I was paying attention to the road, I wasn't watching my phone GPS, and she didn't whisper in my ear and let me know, turn around and go back, you idiot. So,
His favorite word was recalculating today.
Recalculating, that's right. I heard that a lot today. So what we're going to do right now is go down to Grand Cayman. Anyone been to Grand Cayman or the Cayman Islands? That was my home for 12 years. I moved down there in 1988. I went down with a rock and roll band to the Treasure Island Resort, which is now a Margaritaville resort. And we were the house band there for 1 year, and I remember getting off the airplane and telling the band leader, as I felt this nice salty air, thick air come at me, I said, you know what? I know we're just getting off the plane, but you can start looking for another guitar player now because I'm not leaving. And that 1 year, I met my wife, and we got married a year later, and we thought we'll stay 1 more year, and it ended up being 11 more years that we stayed, and through twins and all sorts of good things, good friends, good times down there. I had a little sailboat, a little Victoria 18 that we used to hop on board and go out in Grand Cayman's North Sound, close to the famous Stingray City. And we'd go pull up to a little sandbar out there and take our lounge chairs, a couple of tiki torches, and something cool to drink. And more often than not, I would take my guitar and serenade my wife, and we'd have a little Sandbar Serenade. Title track to my 3rd CD. Hit it, boys. Fill up your picnic basket. Meet me at my old boat and bring a great big jug of Cayman lemonade. I got new strings for my guitar. I've got a brand new tiki lantern. We're gonna have ourselves a little Sandbar Serenade. See, that tide is creeping lower. The clouds, they're moving slower. The moon, it shines so bright we might need shade. Spread that blanket in the middle. Cuddle up here just a little. We're gonna have ourselves a Sandbar Serenade. Well, la-ti-da, enemy on mine. Did you ever see so many stars up in the sky? Yeah, we're gonna make the sweetest music ever played. Gonna have ourselves a Sandbar Serenade. Play it on that steel drum. Stand back, here I go. It's so warm out here tonight, it's a good thing we are dressed just right. I guess the tide will tell us how long we can stay. Until that sun comes up noon, dear, it's gonna be just me and you, dear. Gonna have ourselves a Sandbar Serenade. Will la-ti-da, hey me oh my. Did you ever see so many stars up in the sky? Gonna make the sweetest music ever played. Gonna have ourselves a Sandbar Serenade. Our lovely lady, lady, do you love me truly? Lovely lady, let's sail away. Lovely lady, oh, how you do me when you make me sing my Sandbar Serenade. We're gonna have ourselves a Sandbar Serenade, and you won't forget this Sandbar Serenade. Thank you very much. John Patti and I go all the way back to 1998, which is amazing. I was still living in Grand Cayman at the time, and he was...
Still in high school at the time.
Yeah, you weren't even shaving back then, my friend.
It is true. It is true. I was 15 back then.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, we met at a big convention down in Key West, Florida.
That's right, the Meeting of the Minds. And
right.
I was shocked and surprised to see him playing steel drum along with Mike Utley and Robert Greenwich from the Coral Reefer Band, and holding his own with Robert Greenwich, I might add, at the ripe old age of 15. And John had to stand on a box. He was so short back then.
I hit my growth spurt later.
He's still growing, too. He's growing meaner every day.
Out and not up these days.
I know. Yeah, and the food spread is really good here. I know you watching back home, you can't see it, but we've got some nice South Carolina pulled pork going on over there.
Yeah.
And we got hot dogs. We'll get to that one later. But, yeah, you should be here. What are you doing at home? Oh, now he's zooming in. I can see him changing the camera over to the spread. Don't let our little secret out.
Yeah, now, hold on.
So a few years later, fast forward from 1998 until about 2008, and John moved down from Baltimore and started playing with my good friend Jim Morris in the Big Bamboo Band. And so he played with him for what, 8 years or so? Yeah.
Yep, eight and a half years.
And Jim and I have toured the country many times, and then sadly he passed away 3 years ago, which hardly seems possible. But John and I are committed to keeping Jim's music alive, and here's one of Jim Morris's songs. One of my favorites, about an old fishing guide who really wants to be a writer, but he just can't quite seem to get his act together. It's called Captain Jack is Coming Back. Ah, the wind is blowing 30 knots from the northwest again. You know if I were a sailor, I'd swear there ain't no wind. And these cold fronts scare the tourists. The fish sure disappear. It's hard to find a client, and I'd just as soon find a beer. I gotta get myself together. I've been coasting for too long. I got a midnight buzz at 9 a.m. and I'm feeling mighty strong. Gotta get myself together. When I do, beware, 'cause old Captain Jack is coming back, I swear. I'm just a-working on my boat. I'm waiting for your calls. I'm living the life of a writer, but most days I don't write at all. So I'm fishing for my living, waiting for the words. My muse ain't so amusing, it's a voice I've seldom heard. I gotta get myself together. I've been coasting for too long. I got a midnight buzz at 9 a.m. and I'm feeling mighty strong. Gotta get myself together. When I do, beware, old Captain Jack is coming back, man, I swear. Now the old pros, they laugh about me. They say I've lost my touch. Say I'd fish a whole lot better if I just drank about half as much. Well, I get so damn tired of people, all the things they say. I'll move closer to bad weather. I'll just live alone someday. I gotta get myself together. I've been coasting for too long. I've got a midnight buzz at 9 a.m. and I'm feeling mighty strong. Gotta get myself together. When I do, beware. Oh, Captain Jack is coming back, I swear. Yeah, oh, Captain Jack, he's a-coming back, I swear. Thank you very much. Here's to my old friend Jim Morris.
Yeah.
John, should we do the toast?
It's a little early for the toast. you
Okay,
think?
we'll wait on the
Yeah,
toast,
hold
but
on.
we'll cheers him all the
Yeah,
same.
absolutely.
Here's to good friends and good music.
Hey, we sound pretty good over there.
Are we on a time delay? Can we play something good and run over and hear ourselves? Go, oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well. No, that's all right. But that's our monitor. We can make sure that we're still on par and still projecting out there. We're gonna do a tune now. James mentioned we both have new CDs out, and this is actually one that is the first track as you put it in the CD player. And I say that semi-hesitantly now because CD players seem to be becoming more and more difficult to find. Yeah, but no matter how you look at, this is the first track off the new CD. How about that one? It's inspired by a little trip out west to a beautiful part of the country, San Diego, and more specifically, a little island called Coronado Island, if you've ever been out that way. It's a beautiful region. Have you guys been out? Yeah, Coronado Island. So this is a little song and melody that kind of popped into my head when I was driving throughout the island and all around on there. Decided to call it Coronado Cruise, and it goes like this. Thank you. Cool little
man.
song from the West Coast.
Happy little number. I'm going to be out there in San Diego in like 10 days with my pals Mark Mulligan and Kelly McGuire. The three amigos, or as like we like to say in Mexico, Los Tres Amigos. Thank you very much. I've been working on my Spanish quite a while.
Glad to see that's paying off.
Gracias, amigo. Más cerveza? That's what I know most, really.
You can at least get through the airport now.
Y más ron? Actually, while we're talking about Mark and Kelly, the three of us have been doing these shows since 2011 down on Isla Mujeres, a little island off of Cancun in the Yucatan Peninsula. And Isla Mujeres is like going back in time 40 or 50 years. It's sleepy, it's quiet, it's beautiful there. The water's gorgeous, the sand is beautiful, the people are nice, the food's terrific. And they understand my bad Spanish there now. But there's a main shopping street called Hidalgo Street in the center of the small downtown area. And it's called Hidalgo Street. And every shop on that street has one or two cats that sit out in front and they watch you as you come in. Their tails kind of twitch and their ears do this. And they look at you and they say, I wonder if that gringo's going to buy anything. I don't think so. So after about 4 years of going down there, I decided those cats deserved their own song. So this is called The Cats of Hidalgo Street. In the heat of the day, they sit in the shade of the storefronts they keep. From behind sleepy eyes, so demure and so wise, they all seem so sweet. Forgive us, they say, for in the nighttime we play, and in the daytime we prefer to sleep. And with a leonine smile, they remember the nights, those cats of Hidalgo Street. Brushing their fur, contented they purr. Oh, they've got the whole enchilada. I had to put some Spanish in it. They primp and they preen, each one king and queen. Es la vida encantada, well cared for and loved, admired and adored by the tourists who fawn at their feet. Oh, what I wouldn't give for the life that they live, those cats of Hidalgo Street. Entertained as the passers-by roam shop to shop, arm in arm. No 2 days are the same, oh, and each brings its own special charms. Hear the guitars ringing as they move to the sound of the street. You can just hear them singing as they dance on their delicate feet. Meow. So as you wander around through the center of town, you can see them at their life of leisure. Caress them or feed them or just talk really sweet to them. Whatever is your pleasure, but just remember this island is not about men, for no man could ever compete with the grace and the charm in the feline form of the cats of Hidalgo Street. Oh, the grace and the charm in the feline form of those cats of Hidalgo Street. Thank you very much. Ah, the clouds approve. They're thundering their approval. What do we think, Trina? We're going to take a little break, move inside under cover where it's safe. Just for a few minutes.
We're moving
Thank-
inside for a few minutes?
Thankfully, Mike has, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike has this wonderful network of wires set up to channel any electricity straight to the stage in case there should be a lightning strike.
I saw this in Back
Oh,
to the
my.
Future once.
That's right. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Wait, that was a
That's
different
a whole
movie.
different, that's a whole different
movie.
game, yeah.
All right.
All right, well, we always love to put on a shocking experience and shocking performance, but this isn't exactly it, so we're going to take a quick pause, back with a lot more music
Yeah.
in a few minutes.
Trinidad, I saw some lightning back there beyond the trees, but do we want to move everyone inside, or what do we want to do here? Momentarily.
Put some break music on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to take a short weather break here. There's lightning in the area, and if possible, we'll resume the live stream on YouTube when we come back outside. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a few minutes, hopefully.
We're just gonna wait a few minutes. We're not gonna pack down. So we invite you to stop by. Oh, you already are at the food table. We also invite you to stop by the merchandise table. We do have CDs, and I do have some ball caps. They're guaranteed lightning proof. It's your call.
I like the music.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
Minor from a bicycle in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Dale, boy. Hey, let's do Afterglow. Would you mind that?
That'd be great.
You sure?
I would love it.
Don't be putting me on, man. Don't be putting me on. Producer says, hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for our bit of a rain delay. It was a spectacular lightning show. Well, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it's pretty darn good. Mainly because it was way over there and not here.
I was gonna say nobody got electrocuted, so that's a pretty good thing.
So we'd like to start our second act with a song from my 2016 CD of the Year at the Trop-Rock Music Awards CD, Rum Shoes. And this is a song for this time of night, actually maybe just a little bit later, right after the sun sets. It's called Afterglow. You ready? I think you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
The sun just touches the horizon. Orange fire lights up the sea. The sky turns midnight blue above us. I hear you sighing next to me. Night birds are softly calling. Somewhere a shooting star is falling. A perfect day comes to a close. Then afterglow. Silver waves caress the shoreline. Reflected moments flash across my mind. It's another day where nothing bothers us, and all our cares are left behind. The sun melts into a golden sea, a perfect show put on for you and me. I'm such a lucky guy, I know. Afterglow. A gentle breeze is softly sighing. Sailboats drifting on the tide. A lonesome gull calls out goodbying. Across this dying day he glides. The sunset fades to burning embers. A million stars like floating cinders. A flash of green before it goes. And then afterglow. Go, Johnny, go. where not a word needs to be said. On my shoulder rest your weary head. That magic moment where we know afterglow, afterglow. Here we go. That's pretty. Let me know if you got a song. Thank you very much. I love playing that song at sunset. It's just the perfect time. That was inspired by a photograph a friend sent to me of beautiful St. Pete Beach down in the west coast of Florida. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, let's do another song from my Rum Shoes album. And this is one I was going to do right before the weather got in the way, and I had done the other song for the Cats of Hidalgo Street. This one is
the is this the zoological portion of the show?
Yes, we're doing the zoological portion. This one is really for the men, so ladies, don't listen. Just turn around and watch the lightning in the distance and talk amongst yourselves. And guys, this one's for you. This is kind of a cautionary tale. Listen up. Last Friday night, the boys from work went drinking. Monday morning, they asked why I didn't show. So I told them all about my situation. I told them there was something they should really know. I said, now you may think you've got it rough at home, boys, but out here on the west side of our town, that sweet girl that I married out in Kansas, she's turned into the wicked witch now. Hey, just last Tuesday night after work, boys, I stopped off at the bar for 2 or 3, and I opened up the door when I got home. Here's what my wife zoologically said to me. She said, don't make me have to get my flying monkeys. She said, you're late, I know you've been running round. Don't make me have to get my flying monkeys. Then she took her broom and she tried to knock me down. It was horrible, horrible. So I grabbed my dog and I headed for my pickup truck. Come on, Toto. This is the truth I'm telling you. She chased me with that broom as she was yelling, I'm gonna fix you and your little doggy too. I swear the wind outside began to blowing as her weird brothers all came marching up the street, saying yo-dee-yo, yo-dee-yo-da. Man, they were in some kind of trance and they were coming after me. So I threw my little dog into my pickup, hit the gas, and I tore off down the street. But when I looked into my rearview mirror, she was riding on that broom and chasing me and yelling, don't make me have to get my flying monkeys, or I won't see your future in my crystal ball. She said, don't make me have to get my flying monkeys, and if I do, she said, don't bother coming home at all. So I lost her in the woods just outside of Georgetown, and I headed for that Walmart superstore, 'cause I had to buy her something nice I could make peace with at Walmart, or I'd never get to go home anymore. Well, I found a pair of ruby bedroom slippers she once told me she had wanted for her own. I wrapped them up and I brought her flowers too, Mike. Just remember, a happy wife sure makes a happy home. Oh, I learned my lesson on that fateful day, boys. I'm glad to share it with you, don't you know? You've got to keep your woman feeling happy, 'cause if you don't, you might not get to go back home. So just don't make her have to get her flying monkeys, or you'll be sleeping in the doghouse, don't you know? Move over, Toto. Don't make her have to get her flying monkeys. And just remember, there's no place like home. Just remember that there's no place like home. Ah, remember, there's no place like home. And then just click your heels together 3 times. You know, I'd like to do something I've never done before in my life. I'd like to dedicate that song to my 2 little dogs, Ellie and Little Man.
Oh.
Thank you, wherever you are, my little sweet peas.
In case you were wondering, James does do all his own choreography.
Yes.
It is quite stellar.
And I do it mainly just to crack John up.
It's so funny.
He especially likes the yo-de-yo move.
You can just
with
see the guys doing that, right?
Yeah, those big hats, those big pikes.
Yeah, well.
Oh, gosh.
So I had a couple inquiries about what I'm playing up here, and I'm going to go into that in just a few minutes. But a crash course, this is a 55-gallon oil drum that they heat up the metal and reshape it using special hammers to reshape the metal on top. They sink down by hitting the metal on top. It'll kind of push the metal down. Then it'll hit it from underneath to pop it back up. So it's a combination of concave and convex shapes that correspond to different notes throughout the scales. And it's got every note that you would need chromatically, meaning that you can play in any key. It's got quite a high range too, about 2.5 octaves. And this particular drum is right in the the tenor part. What's the lead voice is what I'm thinking. The higher register, and so it usually carries the melody and the solo. So I'm going to do a few more demonstrations with it a little bit later on. But what I was getting to is just because the instrument is, well, maybe not the conventional writing instrument like a guitar, you can still write songs. And I started trying my hand at songwriting, but way back when I would try to tell stories by using musical chords. And so the way you do that is a kind of a combination of major and minor chords. Sometimes major chords are happy chords like G major. Ah, happy, very nice. You play G minor, a little bit darker. So when you combine those together, it kind of shapes the sound a little bit and kind of creates the tension and whatnot. So by combining that, I decided with a few melodies, a few chords, to try to write a little song about a boat race I saw sailing out of Sydney Harbor. We were cruising out on New Year's morning there. I worked on cruise ships for a little bit, did New Year's Eve on Sydney Harbor, and in the morning we were cruising out, and there were a bunch of catamarans that were kind of right in front of the ship, sailing across the water and racing each other, and this little melody kind of popped in my head, and I thought, well, let me write a little song that could go along with that, with its own little challenges. You'll hear some of the happy music as well as some of the tense moments when the boats maybe had a little bit of trouble or challenges along the way. So, there's a little song off the Cabana Breeze CD. James is feeling it, so we don't know what we're in for, but I can tell you this much. The song is called Catamaran Race. It goes like this.
C sharp. Oh, C sharp. First challenge, tension with a little bit of those chords.
Patti.
Thank you. A little song called Catamaran Race.
Well,
Down to the photo finish at the end.
let's do Baby Boom Baby. Here's another one from my newest CD, the Still Summer Somewhere CD. This is an old James Taylor song that I decided I needed to cover. And fortunately for me, I decided this about 20 years ago, and I finally got around to it on this CD. I'm very pleased. There are two cover songs on it, and here is the first one. James Taylor's song from his Never Die Young album called Baby Boom Baby. Featuring John Patti on the steel drum. Somehow the season always brings a picture of you. Little baby boom baby, holding on for everything you figure you'd do. Little turtleneck girl, moon on your shoulder, wind through your lovely hair. Oh, what a night. We sat on the beach and watched as the sun rose into the summer air. Said we couldn't miss what we never knew. Something about something that you had to do. Now I'm sitting on the sand with a hole in my shoe. And I had no way of knowing where you might have been. Time goes by, all on my own. Girl, I imagined you a life in between. All on my own, worked on a letter, but I never made it out of my head. Oh no. Somehow reading your name, girl, it wasn't the same as leaving the thing unsaid. How come I miss what I never knew? Drag out the past just to paint it blue. And I spend my days with a dream of you. Oh, after the fall, here I'm trying to find our names on the wall. Girl, it was neither yours nor mine, but it was something of the two combined. From a time spent out of time. So I work hard to see that you'll remember my name. Nod your head yes. Do all I can to make you want to see me again. Oh, what a night. Got a letter from the mail. I got a message from the telephone. It seems you're working in town, moving around and living alone. Now I'm caught in the spotlight, I'm walking the wire. My feet are frozen, but my heart's on fire. What do I do when my dream comes true? La 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 la. La 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 la. Thank you so much. I've always loved that song. I'm pleased to say I finally got a recording going of it. This next one is also on my, I guess it's on my Rum Shoes CD, but this is an old Calypso song. John and I are both fans of the old style and kind of the new style Calypso music. This is from one of the kings of Calypso, a fellow by the name of Lord Kitchener. Of course, Calypso originates in Trinidad. It's usually social commentary or double entendre stuff, so it's tricky. You got to watch it. But this is a fun song about a guy who's not feeling too well, and he's blaming his wife for not giving up the medicine he needs. Right? Okay. It's called Gimme the Ting the Doctor Ordered Me, and it goes just like this. Featuring John Patti as well on steel drums on this recording. Audrey, you ought to be nice. You won't take the doctor's advice. You know I'm suffering with the flu. The doctor tell you what you have to do. Now you tell me that you don't agree with what the doctor tell you to give me. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing, don't you know that I need it? Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Won't you give me a little bit? Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Audrey girl, I want to know why you have me suffering so. Can't you see that I'm very sick? I really must get better quick. Now you do what the doctor said. 1 teaspoon before I goes to bed. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Go JP, go JP. Thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing, I don't care if it's bitter. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. As long as it's making me better. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. I know you'll have the recipe. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Audrey, why you so stingy? Audrey, why you so hard-handed? Bring that really dark medicine. You know I must have it to survive. Don't you want me to stay alive? Now you stop your fooling about. Come on, throw that medicine down inside me mouth. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Audrey, now I'm losing me voice, and this is my only choice. I beg you, please come and give me a dose. My vocal cords were getting worse. A little bit just to ease the thing, and the only thing to make me sing again. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing that the doctor ordered me. Give me the thing. Give me the thing.
ting natty da to me. Give me the ting. Give me the ting natty da to me. Give me the ting. You know, I never really listened to the words of that song.
You never have?
No.
What part did you like the best? The silence in between the words? or-
Probably, yeah, that was interesting. I love all that, the calypso music, like you said. It's just so interesting how they conveniently rhyme that all together and
You know, they're geniuses about telling a story in funny ways. We were listening to some calypso on the way up here today. What was the song that I said I really want to do? What was the first one you played for me? About
no more rocking.
No More Rockin'. It's not about no more rock and roll. It's all calypso, and it was just wonderful. Really cool. Tell them about that.
Well, this next one's not a calypso number, but I couldn't be as clever on that one. However, it is the title track from the brand new CD, and kind of my first time trying my hand at songwriting on a couple of tunes. So this is one that was kind of inspired of a couple of spots down around Siesta Key in Sarasota, but I think a lot of people can probably relate to a few things. Places, this is called Little Place I Go, where you can kind of go and retreat, your own little spot that you go to recharge, and I think everybody has that little spot. Could be right here tonight, and goes a little bit like this. It's been way too long since I've been around this town, with a smile on my face and my feet off the ground. It feels nice to be back, where I can be myself again. Now it don't take much, and it won't take long, for me to find a place where I belong. It's just a soft southern breeze sifting through the trees of this place that I call home. Yeah, we'll cruise down to the coast where the girls all like to go and lay in the sun. This little place I go, where time just seems to slow and tensions of life are undone. Now Lexi's looking sexy as she tends her bar, with folks coming round from near and far. Mix 'em up, put 'em down, that's how she pours another round of fun. Maui Jim's got me looking cool on the beach, with my dreams and my drink both within arm's reach. The shoreline is shining, things are looking bright today. Well, green seem even greener, my blues disappear. Hazy notions of this ocean become crystal clear. This little place I go, where time just seems to slow and tensions of life disappear. I'm in a wonderful way in this life that I've chosen. This smile on my face just continues to grow, feeling the sights and the sounds of this funky little town I love. Yeah, we'll cruise down to the coast where my friends all like to go and lay in the sun. This little place I go, where time just seems to slow and tensions of life are undone. just seems to slow. At this little place I go. Thank you. Tune off the new album right there.
Dig it.
Yeah. Research? Sure.
Well, I've been writing songs since I could first grip a crayon. And a lot of my songs reflect that, actually. And this next one, this next one is a song about being a songwriter. I'll let the song tell the story. Hit it, boys. I came home very late one night, or it could have been the early morning. My girlfriend was waiting with an angry look. She gave me that verbal warning. She said, I know you've been out with all your crazy friends. I want to know where you were. She demanded an explanation. This is what I said to her. I was doing research for a drinking song I'm trying to write. I was doing research and I was soaking it up all night. I did like old John Patti and Ernest Hemingway, staying out and drinking till the break of day. I think I've got the idea, all I'm gonna say, it was research. Hey, now a long time ago I was doing a show at a tiki bar in Waikiki, when along came a wahine in a very small bikini, making big goo-goo eyes at me. Oh, my instincts were right, it was a glorious night. In the morning as we lay in bed, we were snuggled neath the covers when she asked me if I loved her. In honesty, here's what I said. I was doing research for a love song I'm trying to write. I was doing research, but I was studying hard all night. I did like Masters and Johnson and the Hyatt Report, doing my best not to come up short. I'm really not in it for the bedroom sport. No, it was research. Happening again. I'm hanging out with my friends, singing songs to a wonderful crowd, where the beer is cold, ooh, the women are hot, the music is fast and loud. It would be alright if this went on all night and we partied till the break of dawn, 'cause if you shake it all up, something's bound to happen I can write about in a song. 'Cause we're just doing research, we're taking life as it comes along, yeah, we're just doing research. Another verse to another song, just like Elvis and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. We're working our fingers right down to the bone. My wife's yelling at me on the telephone. She says, Sonny Jim, when are you coming home? I said, I've got some new assistants, so just leave us alone. We're doing research. Oh, and it's a dangerous and dirty job, but someone's got to do it. People say writing songs, you know, there's nothing to it. Everybody says you got to write what you know. Well, I know that there are places that I still need to go, so I'm thinking about heading there right after the show. Do some research. Yeah, we're doing research. Ah, we're doing research. 'Cause life is all about the research. John, you did a spot-on impersonation of my wife there. You sounded just like her.
Well, a lot of practice on that one, Notice.
You probably heard her say that a lot.
Well, yeah.
Get his ass home. Okay, so now we're going to go back yet again to the Rum Shoes CD, and this is the last song on the CD. I wrote this on a night not too terribly unlike tonight in Sarasota, where I live. it was raining and thundering and lightning all around my house, and it woke me up about 3:30 in the morning. And it was raining so hard I couldn't believe it. I mean, I could not see to the end of my driveway, like from here to where Mike is sitting. And the rain was pouring off of my roof, off the eaves, much like this fountain. And I just stood on my front porch for a good 10 minutes and watched the lightning and listened to the rain. And then I went back inside and made myself a cup of tea, and I wrote this song called The Zen of Rain.
The weatherman had seen it coming. He used his radar early warning, but the TV was the first to go, and we didn't have a radio. She smiled and not a word was spoken. We kept the doors and windows open. The lightning danced before our eyes, and that was when we realized we were listening and learning from the Zen of rain. We lit the candles, she and me, drank the last cup of our tea. The rain was really coming down. It made a singing kind of sound. It's a sound that washes over you, whispers something very true. It's useless now to try and run, to do those things you can't get done. A monsoon or a gentle rain, a shower or a hurricane, another cycle come and gone. It's a chance to rest and then move on. If you listen, you can hear it. It's the Zen of rain. Listen to the Zen of rain. Listen, 'cause there it is again. Listen, just let your mind wash clean. Listen, that's the Zen of rain. If you listen, you can hear it. Somewhere tonight a mother holds her child and feels her heartache deep inside. Her teardrops softly brush his head as she lays him gently in his bed. The thunder calls from far away. It makes her think of future days. He'll be a man and fully grown, holding children of his own. Her tears turn into tears of joy for the future of her baby boy. He'll have his time under the sun. But some days then the rain will come, but there'll be tears of love from heaven. It's the Zen of rain. Listen, that's the Zen of rain. Listen, 'cause there it is again. Listen, let your mind wash clean. listen, that's the zen of rain. If you'll just listen, that's the zen of rain. If you listen, you can hear it. If you listen, you can hear it. If you listen, hush. You got an idea, boy?
Thank you so much. John, ooh, you need more juice, huh?
Nothing stops and turns heads quicker than Christmas music way before it's supposed to be played, right?
For a second there, I thought I was at Walmart.
I know we're already behind the curve. That section's already out. But see, as James had mentioned before, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, so technically I get away with this year round because this is Maryland, my Maryland, actually. You know, it just happens to double as "Oh Christmas Tree" in the holiday season. But you know, since I happen to be heading to Maryland, we're practicing that. It also happens to conveniently be a song off the Christmas CD that I happen to have here, you see. And a couple of you bought the Christmas CD already, and I just wanted to give you a little sample of it just to kind of hear what it's all about. And since I also conveniently happen to have a Christmas show, I figured it just all ties in nicely to be able to do a little promo. So if you guys need a little getaway from the potential chilly weather here in December, every year I do a big Christmas show down in Sarasota. It's called a Calypso Christmas. It's with a full 7-piece band at a big theater. We always have a great time. James has been part of it a few years. This year we have a Cuban guitarist as the guest performer who does a lot of Cuban music, and we combine styles to do Cuban, island jazz, Christmas music. It's a lot of fun. It's Friday, December 13th, downtown in Sarasota at the Players Theater. There'll be information up on my website, and you can find out more information about it. We have a blast. It's just a great, fun way, and at that point, a break from all the holiday shopping. So take a little trip down south, come on down and have some fun with us. Until then, let's just not freak anybody out with shopping days and go back to Maryland by Maryland, right? This will go over better on Sunday because we'll be in Maryland. Smell the Old Bay. Well,
I'm looking forward to that. I hope we get a chance to get some Maryland blues. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I know a guy that knows a guy up there.
I bet.
So we can do that. Well, I'll jump back over to the Little Place I Go CD. This is a song that we had mentioned our good friend Jim Morris left us way too soon, and as a result of that, we've been playing his music and keeping it going in whatever way possible. And I ended up putting this next song on the new CD, a little reworked up version. While Jim had a lot of fun island songs and party music, songs about the island lifestyle by the beach, he also had a softer side, and this is one of those songs about an island just down the street here. St. Simon's Island off the coast of Georgia. The song is called This Old Island. Goes like this. an old man by the pier. Ask where the time's all gone. It's been almost 50 years, and my, this place has grown. I used to come here on the ferry before they built that big hotel. This old island feels the same. This old island's aging well. The lore of treasure ships and trunks of gold doubloons. What's buried in your beach or sunk in your lagoon? Oh, the pirates came to plunder, just as pirates always will. And all these buildings make me wonder, they're not pirates living still. Oh, the pleasure this old island brings, those sunset walks, those old summer flings, luring fools with romantic dreams, and old vagabonds like me. When the women treat me cold, they've all run out of smiles, and I get drunk in every bar, clear across the golden aisles. When I try to run away, every time I felt alone, this old island made me stay. This old island feels like home. When I try to run away, every time I felt alone, this old island made me stay. This old island feels like home.
Cool. Do the toast. Do the toast. Mexican Jim.
All right.
Hey, I think we ought to toast our old friend Jim.
Yeah.
Do the Jim Morris
This
toast.
is the official Jim Morris toast.
Go ahead.
It became official after he passed because we used to do this at every one of Jim's shows.
And it was always a good time.
It was a great time. He called it the Star Trek toast, and it went like this. Grab something cold to toast with here. When God made man, he made him out of string. He had too much, so he left a little thing. When God made woman, he made her out of lace. He didn't have enough, so he left a little space. To space,
the final frontier. Jim was a genius with words. And people mistook his deadpan humor for him just being kind of a gruff guy, but he was one of the funniest people I ever met. We did a tour in 2001, leaving from Sarasota all the way around to San Antonio, Texas, and Houston and Galveston and back. And I came back after 2 weeks, and I couldn't talk, and it wasn't from singing, but it was from laughing continuously for 2 weeks in the motorhome with our friend Mark Friedman at the wheel. And Jim and I were supposed to be writing songs and rehearsing, but we were just laughing halfway across the U.S. and back. Here's one of Jim's songs that I especially love, and this is probably going on my next album. It tells the story of some of his college buddies. When Jim was living in New Orleans, some of his friends from his time in college would come down through New Orleans on their way to South Texas, going across the border to Mexico. And for a little, spring break vacation, they always invited Jim, but Jim knew these guys, and he knew that it would be a bad idea to go with him. And he wrote this song to illustrate why he thought it would be.
Through the bars on the window, I saw the glow of the moon. I heard Mexican singers singing Mexican tunes. Dogs barked in Spanish, a strange serenade. I don't know the language or the sounds that they made. South of the border, they say look but don't touch. Oh, but they served me tequila, and they served me too much. I thought she was pretty, ay, que bonita, and her love was for sale. I spent my vacation in a Mexican jail. Her dad was the sheriff, her uncle the judge, and her brother the lawyer who carried a grudge. They chattered in Spanish, a deal was soon made, a first-class excursion to the local stockade. South of the border, they say look but don't touch, but they served me tequila, ay, 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 ay. They served me too much. I thought she was pretty, and her love was for sale. I spent my vacation in a Mexican jail. Christmas vacation. Take two, they're slow. South of the border, they say look but don't touch, but they served me tequila, and they served me too much. I tried to persuade them, but my arguments failed. Now I'm bunking with Carlos in a Mexican jail. Why? I ask myself why. ¿Por qué? Sing a Mexican song with no ay, ay, ay. Help us out now. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
It is Senor Jaime del Sol, right there.
Muchos Garcias, amibas.
Yeah.
So y'all all know Tom and Michelle Becker, right? Well, gosh, 5 years ago, we did a cruise together and went to Hawaii. We actually did a Hawaiian cruise. You were with us? Mike was with. Okay, let's do it again. We're actually looking into it, but this time as a destination trip, going to stay in one place, because I don't know if we had anything to do with it, but after our cruise, the prices went way up on the inter-island cruise. So pretty expensive, pretty pricey. But so Michelle thought it would be a good idea if we all had name tags with our Hawaiian equivalent names on them. And so my wife went online and yes, found a Hawaiian name generator. So we put my name in, James became Kimo, K-I-M-O. And we put Adela's name in, and it was Adele. We put Michelle in, it was the beautiful sounding Michaela. And we put Tom in, and it came back Tom, no equivalent. So poor Tom was so disappointed.
But that name Michaela I thought was absolutely beautiful, and I kind of combined some of the experiences that we had there with some of my Caribbean background. And I wrote this song about a husband and wife who, the husband's a fisherman, lives by the water, but the wife works in a coffee plantation up in the Misty Mountaintop, and they don't get to see each other enough, and he's very sad because of it. This is called Michaela.
The sun is hot on the concrete by the waterside. Dolphins swimming lazy by the shore. I can smell the fish teeth cooking in the open pots. Hear the wind chimes singing softly by your door. Oh, Michaela, 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 I can hear you singing even in my dreams. Oh, Michaela, 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 how I long to hear you singing by the sea. Well, I think about the tourists in the marketplace, buying painted shells just to carry them back home. They would hear you sing, a smile would come upon their face. Under the magic of your spell, oh, they would roam. Oh, Michaela, 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 I can hear you singing even in my dreams. Michaela, Michaela, oh, Michaela, how I long to hear you singing by the sea. I can see the rain fall gently on the mountain top, where the coffee bean grows slowly there for you. The seagulls call your name out, waves whisper it on the sand, singing, come back to your home, back to your man. Oh, Michaela, 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 I can hear you singing even in my dreams. Michaela, Michaela, oh, Michaela, how I long to hear you singing by the sea. Michaela, Michaela, I can hear you singing even in my dreams. Oh, Michaela, 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 how I long to hear you singing by the sea. Oh, come back home, girl, come back to me. Thank you very much. And if you're listening closely, that's Michelle singing the beautiful Hawaiian-style harmonies in the background.
she came to my house and recorded them. They were down there, of course. You know, they just bought a house down there where I live, or very close to where I live, so they're going to be my neighbors. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Who knows what kind of trouble we'll get into. Should be good, though. Wake up, boy.
I was just thinking back to, forget it, the joke's not going to work now. It was the Hawaiian nickname.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which was?
So I worked in the Hawaiian Islands for a little bit on cruise ships as well, just kind of bouncing around for a few months, and I got a great T-shirt that was out there. And I don't know if it was a Hawaiian name necessarily completely translated, but it could work for some people. It said, Hawaiian Islands were on there, and it said, Kamana Wanalea. And I thought, what a perfect nickname. It'd be a great nickname. But spending a little time around there was pretty cool and influenced me a little bit to hear such beautiful sounds, beautiful music, and oftentimes they were playing other classics and other hits just with their Hawaiian style, and so that influenced me to do a little bit. And it's funny that sometimes songwriters are trying to find the perfect way to say something so special, and oftentimes it's already been said. It's late in the evening. She's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup, brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. We go out to Georgetown, everyone turns to see this beautiful lady who's watching a concert with me. And then she asks me, do you feel alright? And I say yes, I feel wonderful tonight. Well, I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes, and the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. Well, it's time to go home now. Not yet, not yet. I've got an aching head. I give her the car keys, and she helps me to bed. And then I tell her, as I turn out the light, I said, my darling, you were wonderful tonight. I said, my darling, you were wonderful tonight. Come on now. What's going on, Jimmy, on you? Kid. A little island version of an Eric Clapton classic. You can actually grab that version off the Cabana Breeze CD as well.
Well, here's a Sonny Jim version of a Sonny Jim classic.
Oh, I love this one.
This is also off my brand new CD, and I wrote this song. It's kind of goofy to think about this, but I wrote this song thinking of my friend Jim Morris's songwriting style. It's always a girl and a beach, and booze are involved. Booze, it's the duct tape of life, as they say. And this is called I'm Working Down Here. Here we go. And you know, that reminds me.
Oh.
It's always good to come in at the right time.
Well, it's the little things.
I met her on the beach just as the sun was going down. I invited her to stay and she said I'd love to stick around. We talked about the day, we both thought about the night. She said she had the weekend and an early Monday flight. Steel drum music playing in the background, soft and low. Dancers were all swaying and the rum began to flow. Work brought her to the island, but her working day was done. Now she said I'm ready for some work-related fun. I'm working down here, she said. She flashed a little smile, shook her pretty head. She said I'm working on my tan, said I'm working on a buzz. And I'm working on a little thing between the two of us. So order up some rum drinks, don't you leave me here alone. 'Cause I'm working on a story for my friends when I get home. I'm working down here, she said. I'm working down here, she said. She said I like how bright the stars are once the sun has finally set. And those city lights back home make that too easy to forget. The air here is so fresh, really makes me feel alive. I've been walking everywhere down here, I never have to drive. And our office has $1 million view across the bay. I'm working on my options now, so maybe I can stay. But I think that if I moved here, I'd become a real type A. Because lately all I'm thinking of is working night and day. I'm working down here, she said. And she flashed a little smile, shook her pretty head. She said I'm working on my tan. She said I'm working on a buzz. And I'm working on a little thing between the two of us. So order up some rum drinks, don't you leave me here alone. 'Cause I'm working on a story for my friends when I get home. I'm working down here, she said. I'm working down here, she said. She said, I think that if I moved here, I'd become a real type A. Because lately all I'm thinking of is working night and day. It's working, she said. And she flashed a little smile and shook her pretty head. She said, I'm working on my tan. She said, I'm working on a buzz. And I'm working on a little thing between the two of us. So order up some rum drinks, don't you dare leave me alone. 'Cause I'm working on a way to tell my friends I won't be home. 'Cause it's working down here, she said. I'm working down here, she said. I'm working down here, she said.
if you caught John throwing in at the end of that, I've got rhythm, I've got music.
We try to
Gotta
throw
watch
each
this
other
guy.
off.
He's good at it.
Throwing off little
He's really
riffs
good
in
at
there. Yeah.
That song?
I did, but I was thinking about a couple of things here. Now I'm just trying to think of which one I should do.
It's because you have too many songs.
Well, I don't know about that. Let's do another one off the Little Place I Go CD. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me just notify the band here.
Okay, boys, turn to page 3 on your musics.
Yes. The John Patti hymnal. All right, well, this is another one that I also tried my hand at songwriting, and sometimes you need some help from your friends to help you just get that thought complete, or maybe just hearing something just the right way. So I called on one of the best songwriters around the country, but he was busy. So James said he'd be able to help me out. So
There I was so swelled up with pride, and then bam, on the rocks.
you were the songwriter of the year. If you go into James's house and office, he's got literally awards spilling off of the countertops there. It's the what's the bureau that you have there?
Yeah.
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 24, I think 24.
No,
awards.
16.
24 sounds a lot, but he's a fantastic songwriter, you see, and he's got all the awards out there. Anyway, he helped me out with this next one. Get a few thoughts across. This is, I think a lot of people can relate to this. Sometimes you get yourself into a long-distance situation, and, well, happens quite often out on the road. Sarah visits for the weekend to see what life would be like, to live across town in a condo or close enough for her to ride her bike. She hops the red eye from San Francisco. She orders wine and has a couple sips because she hates to fly alone. But she knows there's no phone that can bring the joy of her eyes meeting his. By 2:15 she's high above the Rockies. By 4 a.m. the hills of Tennessee. And by 6 she touches down in the land she first found. The guy that made her heart skip a beat. Well, Sarah smiles for a moment. She thinks about the sun on her skin, but all she wants to be is in his arms again. A rock and roller from the get-go, the music runs down deep through his veins. His passion keeps him traveling the country, and most of his time sitting on a plane. He meets 1,000 fans a weekend, just shaking hands and meeting girls in lines. But while he travels coast to coast, the thing he craves the most is someone special for him to spend his time. Sarah fills that void for a weekend. Her blue eyes stood out bright among the crowd. But what started out as fun quickly had become the reason for his heart to beat out loud. Well, Sarah's smile makes him wonder on the nights he's alone on the road. And all he wants to be is by her side at home. Well, they walk hand in hand on weekend rendezvous, but her heart's torn apart as the goodbyes start, with no talk of what they'll do. She prefers that cool Pacific Ocean. He sure likes the Gulf of Mexico. And the challenge it does seem is the distance in between. And which of them will sacrifice the most? Will Sarah's smile makes him wonder if it's worth all the time, all the road. She hopes he'll see all that it could be. He knows he just can't wait to see Sarah smile again. A little song called Sarah Smile.
Not bad for a rookie.
I'll get there. I'm working on it. One day.
Gosh. Are there any requests? Is there anybody that has a song of mine you'd like to hear and you haven't heard? Oh, yeah. Well, let's do that. So I have this friend of mine who's a sailing buddy of mine, and he's about 6'3", and he's from L.A., Lower Alabama, and he's not the brightest bulb in the light train here. So let's see if I even have it in here. Yes, I do. And his name is Fred Newman, and Fred's a terrific guy, but he's kind of clumsy on a boat. And if you're on a big sailboat, that can be dangerous, you know, with the forces involved and the big sails and the boom swinging across the deck. And after spending a week with him down in the Caribbean aboard my good friend Captain Phil's boat, the Splendid Adventurer, everybody would yell at him as soon as he got up. Mind your head, Fred. Watch out, Fred. Look out, Fred. So the song was a natural. Here we go. Well, my friend Fred is a pretty tall guy, just like me. In fact, he comes in somewhere right around, 6'3". And on the boat, he loves to party. But it seems that he's forgot that the cabin's only 6 feet high, so we say this a lot. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head. There he goes again. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, just to see him cause his pain. Most people, they just need one good bump to figure it out, but Fred never seemed to figure out. Protect your cocoa nut. Coming through the hatchway, going down the stairs. Short people have got no worries about taking off their hair, but Fred, he's got a problem finding enough room. Why, even outside on the sailboat, it's watch out for that boom. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, just don't go down below. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, and if you do go slow. We often laugh about it, but I know this much is true. Fred, you're not too tall for this here boat. It's too short for you. So mind your head, Fred, watch your head. 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 Mind your head, oh Fred. Look out, Fred. Oh no, Fred, don't go down there. Oh no, let me get that for you. Look out, Fred. Oh no, don't do it. Look out, Fred. Oh. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, just don't go down below. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, and if you do go slow. Now we often laugh about it, but I know this much is true. Fred, you're not too tall for this here boat. It's too short for you. Now we went sailing once for 3 weeks and Fred was black and blue. All of us there on the boat, well, we knew just what to do. You see, we gathered up our money, we found a motorcycle shop, and now Fred has a helmet so we don't have to holler. Stop! Mind your head, Fred, watch your head. Oh, there he goes again. Mind your head, Fred, watch your head, to see him cause his pain. Most people, they just need one good thump to figure it out, but Fred never seemed to figure out. Protect your cocoa nut. So mind your head, Fred, watch your head. 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 Mind your head, oh Fred. Oh! Ouch! Oh! Thank you very much. So let me play you a song I wrote about my friend Captain Phil's boat, the Splendid Adventures, beautiful 40-foot catamaran, and he does cruises, week-long charters out of a little island called Canawan. And for years he was on the island of Mustique, which is also a beautiful private island. Both of them are private islands. And Phil, I met the very first day I moved to Grand Cayman. He owned the water sports company there at the Treasure Island, and I met him out on the beach. We got there, home at last, and walk out on the beach, and there was this little balding Englishman, Philip Jones, and I immediately didn't like him when I first met him. And I got to know him, and we are the best of friends. He owns a house down the street from me. In fact, they still live in the Caribbean, and I look after their house when they're gone, and when musician friends of mine are coming through town and need a place to stay, we put them up down at Phil and Nicholas' house. They've been very generous with that. And I also set up all my recording gear and record my albums in his living room. And he gets a kick out of that. He has security cameras all over the place, so he can kind of tune in and see how the albums are going. Just kind of gets on his computer at home down in the islands, and he watches what I'm doing in his house, throwing a wild part. I mean, not a wild party. Doing some recording. So the Splendid was the first big actually the second big catamaran I ever sailed on, but we've done a lot of sailing down in the southern part of the Caribbean. And I wrote this song for my friends Phil and Nicola and their beautiful boat, the Splendid Adventurer. When I first met Captain Phil, he was writing his name on the sky, pulling parasails high above the crystal waters of an island paradise. He said, I'll teach you to sail my sailboat if you'll bring your guitar and sing me songs. He was living a dream of a life on the sea and pulling other people along. Well, he had won and lost 2 fortunes by then, so when the hurricane cleaned him out, he just laughed as he threw up his hands and he told me this is what it's all about. He said a happy heart makes a happy boat. Just living is a gift, don't you see? And the rest, it's a splendid adventure. Why don't you come along with me? Sail on, splendid adventurer. May the gentle trade winds find you from a beam. Sail on, splendid adventurer. Hey. Captain Phil, my friend, keep living the dream. We caught a lobster dinner at a hell of a sunset in the Tobago Keys, telling tales of our lives, of how my wife and I were raising a family. I said it's sometimes a struggle, but it's always a joy when my little girls call me Dad. He told me, Jimmy boy, I see that it makes you happy, and you know that makes me glad, because a happy heart makes a happy boat. Just living is a gift, don't you see?
The rest is a splendid adventure. Why don't you come along with me? Sail on, splendid adventurer. May the gentle trade winds find you from a beam. Sail on, splendid adventurer. Captain Phil, my friend, keep living the dream. Now we've shared a whole lot of laughter through a whole lot of years and a lot of salt water under our keels. Captain Phil and I, we keep in touch. We're closer than brothers still. He'll call me long distance to say he'll take me sailing if I promise to bring my new guitar. Billy, don't be silly, 'cause you're always in my songs, man, no matter where you are. And I know a happy heart makes a happy boat, and just living is a gift, don't you see? And the rest is a splendid adventure. Why don't you come along with me? Sail on, splendid adventurer. May the gentle trade winds find you from a beam. Sail on, splendid adventurer. Captain Phil, my friend, keep living the dream. Keep living the dream. Keep on living the dream. Keep on living the dream. Sail on, splendid adventurer. Thank you so much. I got to tell you, Phil Jones is one of the most remarkable human beings I've ever met. He runs a tortoise rescue on one of the Tobago Keys, and if you've ever seen the Johnny Depp Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where they abandon him on an island, there's 5 little islands that are not much bigger than this pool area, and those are the Tobago Keys, and that's in that film. But he's run a sea turtle rescue and a tortoise rescue on the island, and iguana rescue. There's a native iguana down there that has been captured and killed almost to the point of extinction, but he's been doing that. And he is one of the most generous and kind people that I've ever met. Quick story here. His father's name was Pete, and his father worked for the London Times as a printer for many, many years. He retired from that. And for some reason, they called him Piggy Pete. And Phil told his dad, Piggy Pete, he said, when he was a very young boy, he said, "Dad, one of these days, I'm going to drive you around London in a Rolls Royce. I'm going to drive you around in a Rolls Royce." And Pete said, "That's very fine, son. Now drink your tea." And years went by, and the place where Phil is working now gave him a very big bonus with the stipulation he had to buy a car. So what did he buy? A 1978 Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. But unfortunately, it was about 2 years after his father had passed away. So he took some of his father's ashes and scattered them in the back of the car. So now anytime he's driving that car, he is technically driving Piggy Pete around. He put a special license plate on it that says Mr. Piggy. That's the name of the car. It's a beautiful midnight blue Rolls Royce sitting in his garage. I get to take care of it. I haven't driven it yet. Maybe when I get home. But
Hey, he's got cameras.
that's true. But so I wrote this song just kind of as a little joke because it popped into my head. I was thinking about Mr. Piggy and the promise that Phil had made to his dad and the things that his dad would say to him, like, "Now it's time to drink your tea. You boys settle down." And I wrote this song. It's on my new album, Still Summer Somewhere. It's the last song. And Phil was flying up from the Caribbean to meet his brother in New York to go see an Electric Light Orchestra, ELO concert. So I made this song kind of in the style of ELO, and it's called Riding with Mr. Piggy. And now you know the story, so the song will make sense to you. Here we go. And Phil
And
would
as
say,
Mr. Piggy would say, drink your tea.
always knew we would go in style. Streets and highways, miles and miles, making memories and making smiles. Riding with Mr. Piggy, a promise made a lifetime ago, a promise kept, and now you know. Up and down the road we go, riding with Mr. Piggy. And now we're riding with Mr. Piggy, riding with Mr. Piggy. And the rolls, 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 rolls right on. A promise made a lifetime ago, a big, and now you know. Like a train going down the track, riding with Mr. Piggy. A promise made a lifetime ago, a promise kept, and now you know. Up and down the road we go, riding with Mr. Piggy. And now we're riding with Mr. Piggy, riding with Mr. Piggy. And the rolls, 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 rolls right on. We're up front and Piggy Pete's in the back. We put to shame any Cadillac. Like a train going down the track, riding with Mr. Piggy. Now we're riding with Mr. Piggy, riding with Mr. Piggy. And the rolls, 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 it rolls right on. Oh yeah, we're riding with Mr. Piggy, riding with Mr. Pig. And the rolls, 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 rolls right on. And the rolls, 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 rolls right on. And the rolls, 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 rolls right on.
Now it's time to drink your tea.
Thank you so much. John, what do you got?
All right, well, I'm going to do a little something kind of special here. Just do a quick little demonstration I was mentioning earlier about the drum. As I mentioned, it's a 55-gallon oil drum with a reshaped the metal with special hammers, ball peen hammers, and it's an amazing thing to watch and witness. Nerve-wracking if you own the drum, but once you see they put it back into tune, it's really quite impressive. So a lot of times when you're playing in the steel drum family, this is the lead voice, the highest register. So this will carry the melody and a lot of the soloing. But as you work your way down, the notes need more space, so therefore you have more drums as you go lower in the scale and lower in the family. So I also play a set of double seconds, which is the next in line, and it has a little bit of a lower range. But I play various different styles and genres, but I like doing songs just kind of completely on its own so you can hear and see what it can do without any accompaniment, just because people think that you need all this background stuff. Sometimes it helps to emphasize it, but it's really cool to hear what it can do completely on its own. So check out what this little thing can do, kind of like this. Thank you. A little,
That's my favorite rendition of Happy Birthday I've ever heard.
it's great, isn't it? It's fun. But a lot of times people don't get a chance to see what it looks like out here, so I'm going to come out there to do a quick song if I can. If you guys want to get a chance to stretch for half a second, where it's about that, almost about that time anyway, but I'm going to come sit right in that green chair that's looking so inviting right over there. I'm going to sit right over there. You guys can take a look to see as I'm playing it right here.
Yes, and you have to take it to someone who knows what they're doing. You can't. You could try to tune it, but it would be a terrible mistake. They sit with an oscilloscope and they get the main pitch and the overtones, and the guys that do it well do it remarkably fast. But it's nerve-wracking to watch them because they hit it with a 2-pound sledgehammer that's ground off with a convex face so that it doesn't nick the drum, but it kind of hits it flat.
You ready?
Boy, oh boy.
When you get a chance. I was too quick for you there. Gather around. We're going to make a campfire in the middle of the steel drum. Roast some marshmallows. Have some s'mores. Yeah, get it. Face them, John. Turn around so they can turn around the other way.
They won't be able to see inside the drum.
Oh.
Let me do the thinking.
I'll just hit the button. You just say when.
All right. Ready? You over there?
I'm waiting for hit the button now.
And now. Oh, wait. And now.
Well, Johnny, I think we have time for one more song. Yes. When Irish eyes are smiling. Is it? It won't hurt anything. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out and for sticking with us through rain and lightning and heat. You guys are like the U.S. mail. That's true, John. And again, thank you to Mike and Trina for having us here. There you are. I was looking for you. Thank you guys so much for opening up your home and the fabulous pool and your wonderful, amazing backyard. Wow. I'm sorry you have to suffer through looking at that day after day. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we have one more song for you. As John dries out his steel drum, he was crying. He was so happy with how he was playing. He cried tears in there, and it's all yucky. But there he goes. It's all shiny and new now. So just because we're finished playing doesn't mean the night is over. I know some of you may have a little drive time ahead of you. Be safe on the road. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon. Get it, boy. The sand is cool beneath my feet. Gone is the summer's daytime heat. My footsteps crunch along this beach. They drift into eternity. A million diamonds light the night. A million candles burning bright. In inky blackness how they shine, as they will do throughout all time. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon. Across the ocean ripples flow, pushed by the tides and the winds that blow. Into these gentle waves they grow, their journey secrets whisper low. The soft caress of night's embrace shines on the beach tonight as summer on your face. I take great comfort in this truth, but that same moon watches over you. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon. Every little bit, every atom of my being begins to stir, starts into singing, intoxicated, elated by this night's rich perfume. Every little bit gets me feeling, gets me thinking that each moment is ours, just for the taking, to treasure forever, shining like some golden doubloon. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon. Mr. John Patti.
Mr. Sonny Jim, James White.
Every little bit, every atom of my being begins to stir, starts into singing, intoxicated and elated by this night's rich perfume. Every little bit gets me feeling, gets me thinking that each moment is ours and it's just for the taking, to treasure forever, shining like some golden doubloon. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon, no. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon. Sky, sand, water, moon. Don't let this night be over soon. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon. I feel connected and in tune. Sky, sand, water, moon.
Thank you guys again so much. Give it up, Sunny Jim.
Thank you. And also give it up for Mr. John Patti, the man on the steel drum.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your evening. Great night, yeah. Come on up, say hi, take a look at the drum, and the guitar as well. You wouldn't.
Yeah, come up and have a look at the guitar.
Amazing, amazing instrument right there.
This is actually a brand new guitar for me. I've had it for about 4 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, come on up, say hi. If you want some great music to sing along by, grab Sunny Jim's music.
And if you want some great instrumentals to lift your life,
Oh,
check
wow.
out John
I
Patti's.
like that one. That's good. Anyway, either way, thank you guys so much again. Have a great night.